Thank you. My name is Cindy Eigler. I'm a policy specialist with the Texas Interfaith Center for Public Policy, the research and education arm of Texas Impact, and I am here to support of House Bill 650. We've talked a lot over the session about bills focusing on the front end, looking at diverting individuals from prison, and bills focus on the back end on how to increase somebody's chances on the outside when they're coming out of prison. But one thing we've spoken less of, and what specifically members of the faith community are very concerned with, are conditions of confinement. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, that 95% of individuals in our prisons are going to be coming out into the community at some point. So we feel strongly how these individuals are treated during their incarceration matters a great deal. It's a matter of public health, it's a matter of public safety, and in our view, it's part of our moral obligation to protect those that are most vulnerable among us. As I've also previously spoken in front of this committee, I was previously the Associate Director of the Prison Visiting Project at the Correctional Association of New York, which is a nonprofit organization given the legislative authority to inspect the prisons. So as part of that role, I visited over 24 facilities doing inspections, and it's with that experience that I'm really here in support of this legislation. The ability to walk the prison blocks and speak to people who are most impacted, whether you're talking about individuals incarcerated in the prisons or the correctional officers themselves, and to see firsthand how the policies you read about at your desks or hear about in these hearings, how they play out in actuality and in practice, is invaluable, and I think it can lead to the development of some of the most effective recommendations offered to and by the legislature. Not only does House Bill 2650 call for the regular inspections of the Texas prisons, but it also clearly lays out elements that are key to that kind of inspection success. I really want to thank Representative Allen for bringing this piece of legislation to us, and as an already existing oversight body, the Criminal Justice Legislative Oversight Committee is in the best position to carry out these inspections and to work towards increasing the accountability and transparency for what generally have been closed institutions, all prisons. In Christian scripture, in Matthew 25, Jesus addresses his followers and suggests that the sheep will be separated from the goats, and that we will be evaluated based on how we treat the least of these in our society. And he specifically names individuals in prisons as one of the groups we must work to protect in his name. And as a community, I think we've often failed to rise to this challenge, as we're often quick to dismiss those in prison as unworthy of assistance, unworthy of attention or forgiveness. And so I urge you to support passage of this piece of legislation and to help us in following the teachings of our various faith traditions in practice as well as in name. Thank you.
Cindy, thank you for being here this evening. Members, any questions for Cindy? Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate your perspective.